internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. This is going to be crazy. Ripple just came out with one of their big opportunity insights via PDF, and this is gonna blow your mind. The numbers they're sharing, the projections they're projecting for 2030, and I'm gonna read out a couple lines here that are, that's really gonna get you thinking of how big this market's gonna get. And before we get into it, don't forget the 1,700 contracts that were never made public. Remember, Ripple will announce partnerships when they are comfortable to do so, and I've been saying that since the inception of this channel.
Again, we don't pre-announce customers until we're ready to talk about those customers.
For all the OG individuals, go ahead and smash that like button. So much information that we have discussed and said would happen has happened perfectly. And talking about the 1,700 contracts, right? This is from the SEC a couple months ago when they put out their remedy package, and it stated at the footer note on page 24 saying Ripple's institutional sales involved more than 1,700 relevant contracts. And if we listen to what David Schwartz said here 4 years ago in regards to how many contracts they actually had.
And there are over 200 production contracts and companies that use that network to make and settle payments every day. We sort of think about our long-term vision as the internet of value.
But this says that was from April 1st, 2014. So there was a lot that hasn't been announced. And now let's get into the juicy part. The race is on to bring better B2B cross-border payments to small SMEs, and local banks are poised to win. This is monumental. Listen to what was said here. And I'm going to play a video collage that you guys have heard before, but now this is it. Everything that we have been preaching on this channel is in this PDF, and it's going to completely blow your mind. Big opportunity in small business payments. And this is just one avenue of utility for the digital asset XRP, which makes it even more monumental.
The capital will flow to the most efficient path. Yep. The capital will flow to the most efficient path. Yep.
SMEs, small business enterprises, are in dire need of streamlined cross-border payments. This in turn creates a compelling revenue opportunity for U.S. regional and community banks. Listen to this. Companies that offer innovative financial services to small business enterprises stand to realize increased revenue and cement their roles against the competition. The B2B payment market is expected to reach $174 trillion, $174 trillion by 2030. That is just 6 years from now. And again, this is a very conservative outlook and time frame. And local banks have the opportunity to be at the forefront of this growth. And we are about to see the rollout begin. Hence why I'm not even surprised that Brad Garlinghouse would have made this statement on this podcast a couple months ago.
I'm dodging the question only slightly because, what's the timeline for this year? I mean, I have said publicly I think that the market will be over $5 trillion by the end of this year, which is a double from where we are now. How that applies to Bitcoin versus XRP. I mean, people forget, before the SEC got involved and said that ETH is not a security, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset.
Wow, that wasn't
that long ago.
That wasn't long ago. What, 3-4 years?
It was 2018 when Hinman gave his speech. So 6 years, a little less than 6 years ago. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
We have not yet seen a utility token take off yet, and a utility token market cap is nonsense. It's limitless. And now continuing on to what they said here, which really stands out with what we have been discussing on this channel. Now I want you guys to listen very carefully to this, and then I'm going to play the video collage. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we know Ripple, as is in the forefront and leading this. with all the governmental organizations around the world. Ripple's solution leverages the XRP ledger and its native digital asset, XRP, which was purpose-built to enable fast, low-cost, highly scalable transactions across developer and financial use cases. With a proven track record, you hear this? With a proven track record. Remember what I said, this is what they're looking for. These big guys are looking for track record and how long it's been up and running for. Incredible for everybody that has been following us since day one. With a proven track record, working with regulators and policymakers around the world, Ripple's payment, custody, and stablecoin solutions are pioneering the digital asset economy, building credibility and trust in enterprise blockchain. Like, this is incredible. Like, we are at ground zero and we have this opportunity and so many people are blind to it. Just take a look at how many views my videos get on a daily basis. And, it just shows you the importance and knowledge gap that this whole sector has. There isn't enough of us out there holding the digital asset XRP. Credibility and trust in enterprise blockchain. Together with customers, partners, and developer community, we are transforming the way the world creates, stores, manages, and moves value. And remember, each category, a percentage of each category is going to get tokenized. And that was made very clear on a low conservative outlook ranging between 10 to 50% potentially.
I think a reasonable proportion of how much of each type of asset class in what market by what type will kind of eventually evolve into using this technology, other than to say regulated markets will be on this technology using it in a sophisticated way within a decade. And what a reasonable proportion could be anywhere from the 10% mentioned previously to anywhere sort of sub 50. I don't think, I think a reasonable proportion of how much of each type of asset class in what market by what type will kind of eventually evolve into using this technology, other than to say regulated markets will be on this technology using it in a sophisticated way within a decade. And what a reasonable proportion could be anywhere from the 10% mentioned previously to anywhere sort of sub 50. I don't think more than.
And that unlocks a lot of value. And now take a listen to Chris Giancarlo, head of the Digital Dollar Foundation, where Ripple is working with Mike Novogratz, Bank of America CEO, Swift CEO. Just take a listen to this. You guys have heard this before, but listening to it now, listening to what I just read to you about what Ripple is saying, about their track record, working with regulators, and now we are pretty much at the end of this regulatory uncertainty and the hurdles that we are, been going through. The guardrails are finally up, and now we're about to see what utility tokens are about to achieve in this new infrastructure they're about to roll out.
The capital will flow to the most efficient path.
Yep.
So in short, our proposal, I think, is a quite simple one. And that is that there be a independent enterprise. This has really got to be built, if it's going to be built on time and it's got to be built with private sector involvement. But that entity would make those standard protocols available to the entire existing financial ecosystem.
Possibilities. Something is going to be the trust layer that lots of stuff gets built on that's programmable.
To banks, payment providers, and others, standard set of protocols.
Ripple is trying to be a payment rail for all the money that sits in between the banking system. And there'll be a new economy built on top of that.
The ability to enhance each other's understanding, the ability to connect the diverse economies, the 200 or so countries in the world, and make sure the payment system works for all different profiles of companies.
And we took three economies, Singapore, France, and Switzerland, and pooled their CBDCs in a common kind of offshore pool that was an automated market maker. And in that automated market maker, all the currencies can trade against each other.
Interoperability of economies actually connect more than 200 countries, and particularly their payments and securities infrastructures with each other.
My gut feeling is we're not going to know the winner for 3 to 5 years. I'm not positive it's going to be winner take all. The winner is going to be worth a whole lot of money because more and more of the world will get built on top of a trust protocol.
We need to make sure that the payments architecture has the right privacy protections so that people can trust using the system, because trust is really the essential linchpin of any payment system.
The world will get built on top of a trust protocol.
The capital will flow to the most efficient path.
With the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.